Hello Tech Trends friends, today it's not about tech, it's about gaming. It's about The Last of Us and why I don't think it's perfect as everyone says. Sure, The Last of Us is a good series and it's getting a lot of praise right now, and I don't want to spoil anyone's enjoyment of the series. But I think you should not only see the good sides, but also address a few weaknesses that may be improved in Season 2. Especially as a video game adaptation, I think it has a few weaknesses that needed to be addressed. Please keep in mind, this is just my opinion, and if you think otherwise, let me know in the comments. Before we talk about what I didn't like about the show, I want to say what I really liked. First, the cast. I really liked the cast of characters. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey won me over from the first scene, and Pedro Pascal in particular does his job so well that I can see his face when I think of Joel. It wasn't so easy with Bella Ramsey at first because of the visual differences to Ellie, but she also plays the role so well that I accepted her very quickly in her role. And also secondary characters like Tess, Bill, Sarah, Riley, Marlene or Henry are very well done and you feel immediately familiar with the characters. Second, visual presentation. Also, I really like the scenery. The apocalypse looks believable and true to the game. The bombed cities that are deserted, the wilderness that the world is slowly reclaiming, small communities trying to survive together. In general, although this apocalypse scenario has been pretty well worn out by shows like The Walking Dead or movies like 28 Hours Later, every frame of the series is great and fun to watch. 3. Cordyceps. Another point that I really liked is the background story to the cordyceps fungus. At the beginning of the series, time jumps into the past showed how the cordyceps originated and mutated. I really would like have more of that, but more on that in a moment. 4. Bringing in key moments from the game. What the series has also done very well is that it captures important moments from the game very well and reproduces them with a lot of love for the original. Once you've played the games, you love moments like the encounter with the giraffes or Joel's escape at the beginning of the apocalypse at the beginning of the series. But this is exactly where my criticism of the series begins. First, copy-paste. I ask myself if I really would have missed something in life if I hadn't seen this series. By Game of Thrones, I would say yes, and unfortunately by The Last of Us, I would say no. In my opinion, the game was copied so much that too few of own ideas were brought into the series. In some episodes I sat there almost bored because I knew exactly what was happening and it all happened exactly like that. Of course, you can't change the plot of a story that's already been told, and you shouldn't, but I expected the series to tell backstories that I didn't appear in the game, for example. And please don't get me wrong, there were a few backstories in the series, but they were not well chosen. As an example, I have to mention the background story with Bill and Frank. And please don't misunderstand this point now, but I found this episode absolutely unnecessary and don't know why this story of all things was told in such detail, because it didn't give us anything story-wise. On the contrary, in the game we had these brilliant moments with Bill and Ellie that were completely missing here. This screen time could have been better used to give us more background story about Ellie and Joel, instead of giving these two characters that actually play almost no important role in the series and in the game. I would have wished for more scenes that we don't know from the game but that expand the connection between Ellie and Joel. 2. The Infected. Another problem in my opinion is the fact that the infected were not seen enough in The Last of Us. I didn't count, but felt like this happened maybe 3 times or so in the whole season. The zombie threat is just not noticeable. I mean, I don't need an action-packed series where you see thousands of zombies every episode, and since the genre is worn out, something like that doesn't shock that much anymore, but it could have been a little more quiet. 3. A rushed season. I actually find this point the saddest, and that actually speaks for the quality of the series. This series actually had so much more potential, especially to give more to the players. but they really did complete the entire first game in a single season of only 9 episodes. Personally, I think the first part of the game is a lot better, because it's not just about a simple revenge story, and above all, the relationship between Ellie and Joel could have been expanded so much, which made Joel's decision at the end of the hospital with the fireflies better could have understood. It was probably for cost reasons, or they weren't sure if the series would be successful, or they were aware that the zombie apocalypse as such had been sucked out by series like The Walking Dead, but the first game definitely deserved 2 seasons. Overall, I like The Last of Us, but I don't think it's the perfect game adaptation of a series. Maybe it's a better experience for people who didn't play the game. I would also like to read your opinion in the comments and would be happy about a like and a subscription. Until the next video, have a good time.